All right, check it out. Had a buddy of mine ask me recently. He was like, so dude, what was the catalyst for you, like starting to do these online videos and speaking out publicly again after you being in the shadows for like more than 5 years? Because what you may not know is my family and I, about 5 or 6 years ago, stepped out of evangelical church leadership. And for me, the answer to him was pretty simple. It's because I got so sick and tired of watching the faith that I love and have wrestled through become this costume for cruelty, like a cloaking device for just meanness and superiority and self-serving behavior, all the while being dressed up and labeled as Jesus. So let me make it abundantly clear, as unpopular as this may be to say in 2025, the Jesus movement was never about some partisan domination of our legislative bodies, whether it's local, state, national, it doesn't matter. The movement of Jesus was always about humility and service and compassion and meeting the needs of those who'd been marginalized, both physical and spiritual. And in case you're wondering, that's not what it looks like to be woke. That's what it looks like to be holy. But unfortunately, at this juncture in human history, spiritual certainty has become like a breeding ground for arrogance and domination. And so in turn, kindness and empathy, those types of behaviors for a lot of people have totally flown the coop. And look, I'm not just here to call out misguided Christians. I'm here for everybody else too. I do this for every single person who's had to deal with an unkind Christian, who's justified their behavior using their faith. I do this for all of us who had to see Jesus through the lens of people recently who look and sound nothing like him while we go to work and in our family and in our government or on our feeds. Did you know that the fastest growing demographic right now of people are the ones who were raised religious but now simply call themselves spiritual because they don't want to be identified with all of that stuff? And it's not because they don't care about God. It's because they're exhausted by the hypocrisy of it all. And so they're resisting, and they're not wrong for it. Let me see if I can provide a little bit of historical context for you. Throughout history, like for the last several thousand years, authoritarian power has always tried to hitch a ride onto Christianity. But history also shows there's always been a resistance. Like when the Crusades preached violence, it was St. Francis who walked away from it and preached peace instead. When Columbus showed up and invoked God while brutalizing the Taino people, it was a priest named Bartolomé de las Casas who raised his voice in protest and said, "This isn't good." When slavery was justified using Bible verses, it was people like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman and the Quakers who stood up and said, no. Not just to the practice of slavery, but to the religious justification of it too. When segregation hid behind pulpits in the South, it was Dr. King who led the March for Justice. And even recently, when blatant and obvious homophobia ruled in the church house, it was our own children who started teaching us as parents what the gospel actually looks and sounds like. See, I'm learning that this was their story, and it's our story too. Christians pushing back against the weaponization of Christ. So yeah, I'm speaking out again because I'm sick of the authoritarians using my Jesus' name as a bellwether, and I know I'm not alone. So if nobody else is going to reclaim the teachings of Jesus, then it's up to us to do it. It's time for us to speak up and speak out, to write it down, to shout it from the rooftops, and to live, obviously, in such a way that asks our hyper-religious loved ones and our political leaders and our church communities to answer this unbelievably fundamental but hard question. Which one of Jesus' teachings does far-leaning partisan politics reflect? Because I've read the Gospels, and I haven't found it yet. Food for thought.